Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. The Abu Dhabi Grand Slam is underway, and if you've noticed, that says RUS on the back patch of Bliev. They've brought back the Russian back patches. And now Bliev, he was one of the guys in the mix at under 60. Had a really good day. Here he is taking out Yusufov. There was also Sadalashvili and Enk Taiwan. These two met in the semi-finals. Yuko for Sadalashvili, but Enk Taiwan gets him with an ippon, a beautiful ippon, probably one of the best of the day. So it was Enk Taiwan and Bliev in the final. And a really nice example of under 60 judo here. Just a good scramble, and Bliev gets a wazari for all this work here. They're calling that an uki otoshi, and seems about right. Now Bliev with the early wazari, but this was an exciting matchup. A lot of action from these guys in the final. Enk Taiwan really just kind of brought it to Bliev, but I think Bliev just had a bit more strength. I'm not sure about the difference technically, but he just looks a little bit bigger than Enk Taiwan. Now he doesn't get this juji that he ends up in, and with the clock less than a minute to go, Bliev takes home the gold. And of course, Enk Taiwan with the silver. He took out Yildiz early on, ended up getting a couple of yukos and then a juji gatame to finish it. Now keep an eye on Enk Taiwan. I think he's really leveled up, especially since the last time I've seen him. And this is the bronze medal contest. We've got Yildiz against Yusufov. Yuko here for Yildiz. And then Yusufov evens the score. Sumiotoshi. And then in the golden score, have a look at this for a kataguruma. Cross grip and cross sleeve. So that's really nice, and Yildiz, he'll be happy with that bronze medal. Now Sadalashvili, he lost to Enk Taiwan, but he had some moments. Another Sumiotoshi. And another good counter here. Very good with his counters, Sadalashvili. And this was a bronze medal contest he found himself in, up against Verstraeten from Belgium. Verstraeten putting on the pressure, but Sadalashvili, I think, just one step ahead. And these are the kind of scrambles that you like to see at under 60. And with that, Sadalashvili, he walks home with a bronze medal, just 4 seconds left on the clock. Now at under 66, we had a lot of high-level judoka. Chopanov, he is on the screen at the moment. Has a really nice sequence in the newaza here. There was also Kaya, and then Torne. We just saw Torne recently compete, and he took gold at the Grand Prix in Zagreb. Now he won't be at the Tokyo Grand Slam, which is in a couple of days, but Zagreb and then the Abu Dhabi Grand Slam, not a lot of time in between them, and then having to cut weight. And so I do wonder what kind of effect that has on the body for these guys. Now, unfortunately for Torne, he did lose in the quarterfinal, and was up against this guy from France I've never seen before, Renard. Beautiful Orsotogari here. And he had a few of those throughout the day. This one here, just a Yuko score, but then he transitioned it beautifully into the newaza. You'll see here, hand between the belt, which is very common these days. And that is the Fukuda roll that I have been talking about non-stop. Doesn't secure it, so didn't have enough control of the head or the legs, but he manages to turn it into a sankaku here. And you can see him just working to flatten out his opponent, trying to grab a leg here, and he does eventually get it. And they call the osaikomi here, but also for the shimewaza. So an interesting new judoka from France, Renard. Look at the serenage as well. So someone to keep an eye out for. Now, you might have missed it, but just before Chopanov, his ippon, that was against Renard. So Renard found himself in the bronze medal contest. And he was up against Nieto. Now this score, what do you guys think? Have a look at the leg of Renard. It is a cross, and so that is kind of one of the new criteria for Yuko, having the legs like that. So Nieto, he ends up winning the bronze medal contest there. Now for the gold medal contest, we had Chopanov against Kaya, and we'll just have a look at a few highlights from Kaya in his earlier contests. Now this is against Kim, and one of Kaya's tokui waza is the uranage ippon here. He also took out Nozadzi, and Nozadzi looking to complain a little bit here. I think he's mentioning it might have been an Ouchigari, but I don't see anything in it. Definitely Kosotogake from Kaya there. And then in the quarterfinal, this match was pretty crazy against Najuchev. And you'll see him just stringing techniques together against Kaya. 2 Yuko scores. And then again, just the combination of attacks here. Kochi into some sort of tackle. I'm not sure right now. It's just happening so quickly. So he ends up with 3 Yukos on the board. And then Kaya, of course, it's the Uranage. And this is enough for Wazari. And so he managed to win that contest with 3 scores against him. Of course, Wazari trumps all Yukos on the board. So it was Kaya against Chopanov in the final. And again, more Yukos. We've seen the replay here. Chopanov with the Kochi. And that is enough for a Yuko, although just barely. Kaya gets one of his own. Sumigaishi, and again, I mean, I gotta say, just barely. And then this final one is probably more of a Yuko than the one we just saw. But again, the camera angle, a little bit funny. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. And let me know what you think about Yuko in general. It's great to see the sort of stuff we saw from Naguchev, the scrambles, kind of racking up the scores. But was this a Yuko? I guess it is just how his legs go flailing across like we saw in the bronze medal contest. Now, if you're wondering what happened to Yondon Perenlai, he ended up getting thrown here. Beautiful ippon, tiny otoshi. And you'll see Yondon Perenlai really on the side. So he's just kind of opening himself up for an attack like this. And I think he sees himself. That was a dumb mistake to let that happen. And he was up on the board. Now, Chopanov, he took out Lima. Beautiful Kochi Makikomi there. And then Lima was up against Tone. And this was interesting. I mean, what do you say against this? Sumi Otoshi for the counter. Okay. Gets a U-call for that. And then Lima, down a point, has to come forward. And Tone with the Ippon Seoinage. Now, Tone in the bronze medal contest, he lost against Manzi. Lost to Shido. So that's about it for the men's, and moving on to the women's. Now there is a bit of a Japanese presence at Abu Dhabi, not the #1 team of course, and this is Mori. She ended up taking out Scuto, but she did lose in her next contest and found herself in the bronze medal contest, winning that one here. A low Osoto Otoshi, just for Yuko. And we'll stay with the Japanese for a minute. This is Fukunaga, another person who I don't really know that well. Uchimata here. And then she did lose. Nice Ashibarai here. Have a look at that. And it is against Gefrida. Now, she did lose again. And this was a really nice Kosotogake. Kind of like an Osotogari. A little bit dangerous on the leg maybe, but an interesting technique, that's for sure. Now we're jumping around a little bit here, but this is Crash Niki at under 52. And she had the same technique 3 times for Yuko against her opponent. Just a really nice chopping Sasai. Really getting a reaction from her opponent to kind of turn on the inside and then go for it. So that was definitely excellent. Now I'll leave you guys with the rest of the middle contests. I haven't included everything, of course the things that just ended by Shido, I usually don't put those in. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2. Peace.
Who's going to be the #1 in...
She is experienced though, isn't
yeah,
she?
Yeah, she is.
There it is.
Oh,
That's
this has to be enough. So
and that did it. So that Kataguruma there just
yeah, well, they were completely, for years, it was completely gone. Spanish judo at the highest level. There were no successes.
No.
And now it's with the women.
That's
the
exactly
problem.
what you're talking about, right?
also. Good Newaza here.
Oh, nice one. Look at
Yes,
this.
and we know
She's coming round.
Poop is really good in Newaza, but it's over, Neil. No, can she? Oh, she grabs the leg.
Well, she's grabbed the leg, but it's not over yet. She'll still got a chance to get that out. She
but
can
still
get the
on
knee
one
out.
side.
Here it comes.
There it's out again.
She's got it.
Yes, here it is. Ballhouse.
What a great bit of Newaza there from Ballhouse there.
Holding her down. 10 seconds already. The Wazari on the board. Clock is ticking.
Oh, she's done absolutely amazing. She just had the body language there that said, I'm going to win the
It's
gold medal.
Ballhouse who wins the gold